on this Sunday evening. Hopefully, you guys are having a great weekend. And if it's already to the next day for you and it's Monday, hopefully, you had a great weekend. So, I'm actually going to take a look at one tonight that comes from Tool, and that is actually out of Copenhagen. However, the beer is actually brewed in Belgium or Belgium. I think I said Belgium, but Belgium. And this is actually the Tool, and I'm going to probably screw this up, but it is the Vanilje Maelk, which is Norwegian for vanilla milk. There you can see the Tool on the side there as well, and they have kind of the computer code on their label. Tool is one of those breweries that has some artistic type things there as well when you see their stuff. But I do enjoy their beers and happen to grab this one as a recent pickup. Comes in at 10.5% ABV. All they make mention really on the label as far as the ingredients are barley, oats, and lactose. Brewed and bottled, as I mentioned, in Belgium, imported by Shelton Brothers up in Massachusetts, which gets a lot of the stuff that comes in out of that region, it seems. And as I mentioned, they are based out of Copenhagen, Denmark, if you're not familiar with them. But they always make a nice product. And I was ready to enjoy a nice Imperial Vanilla Stout for dessert. And I'm going to see how this one actually tastes. Like I said, hopefully you guys are off to a great Sunday today. Um, Weekend, couple nice days here. We actually 70 degrees right now. Yesterday was 70s. Sun's going down. Actually took a trip around town earlier just to kind of see what was all taking place out there. A lot of people were out there walking and jogging and swinging by a few places. Of course, they were social distancing while they were doing it for the most part. There were a few people close together, but hey, that's not my call. You know, they're taking that risk. That's on them. Shout out to the people in the chat as well. And I'm going to go ahead and hit that real quick for a little bit of a roll call. We got Blake in the house. It cheers, homie. Happy Sunday to you as well. And to you, Blake, and to anybody else. I know I saw your comment earlier. I didn't get a chance to comment when I saw it on Facebook. I was doing some other stuff around, but glad to hear you were safe from the tornado stuff that went through. And hopefully, if there's anybody you know in that area, hopefully they can get through this as well. I know you said you were like 2 hours away, I believe, but scary things when those tornadoes come through. Head coach in the house says, "Hey, Rod." Erie says, "What's up? What's going on, Erie?" Blake said, "That's a cool bottle." Yeah, they're big on the whole artistic type thing on their labels, so that is pretty interesting. Blake said, "Hello to Coach," and to Erie. Back to Blake, and Erie said, "What's up, Blake?" "Oh, not much, just enjoying the show. How are y'all today?" And Erie says, "Same." Yeah, so be back to the work week here in 12 hours. So going to kind of relax with this one and chill. So I pop this open. Ooh, got a lot of can of smoke out of the bottle itself. Got hit with a nice whiff of the vanilla. And as I mentioned, Tool usually does a pretty good beer. So I'm looking forward to this. This bottle is actually 12.7 ounces, so bigger than our regular 12 ounce. There's the dark pour on the beer itself. Got about a 3.5 finger head. Wanted to open up some of the aromas and the flavors with it as well. Blake said, "Get this, no one died. It hit the shopping mall, but it was closed due to the virus. Imagine that, still blown away." Yeah, it was crazy because I saw a video on the tornado, and that thing was huge. It was a pretty big one. And cheers to Gilbert as well. Yeah, it does look kind of delicious there, doesn't it? Get a good amount of the aroma coming out. You can easily tell there's lactose in here. You get a nice feel of that. But on the background, it has a little bit of a kind of like a spice type note. But I can't really place the spice. I want to say it's almost like and you'll get a kick out of this, Blake, almost like a dankish type note. It's really weird. But it smells like the remnants of some burnt weed there. It's interesting. But it could have been from the way it was actually fermented. Didn't mention anything about barreling. I get a little bit of a boozy dose as I shake it up a little bit, kind of agitate it. But it's very interesting. What is going on, Alan? Cheers, my friend. Who knows? People always jump up and do it at some points here. I don't even worry about the haters anymore. It's got an interesting taste to it. The beer itself is very subtle. You get a dose of some chocolate on the malts, a little bit of a burnt coffee feel, but kind of more of an espresso type bean on the coffee feel. Hangs in the cheeks nicely. It's not too thin. Flavors lasting around for a good amount of time. I mentioned that kind of danky feel. You almost have that in the taste as well, but it's also kind of a pininess in there too. It's really weird. It's not what I was really expecting from this one. It's definitely unique. Now I know this one on Untapped because I was doing some research on it, and I think the average rating was at 3.62, and I'm thinking it was because it may have thrown people off on the taste of this one. It's not anything that's terrible. It's just very different and very unique. I should say very toolish because Tool was known for beers like this. On the glass, you have some nice lacing taking place as well. It's a solid product put together. I do get some of the aftertaste that's lingering in the mouth. Kind of a little bit of a smokiness in that finish, which I think is the thing that was really throwing me off on this beer. You can feel the carbonation on the tongue, but not overly carbonated. I had one from Evil Twin that was a smoked beer. I think it was called Ashtray Heart. And this is kind of similar to that one, with kind of that smokiness afterwards that kind of lingered and came into play. Which I did like the one from Evil Twin as well. And I know some people aren't big fans of some of the smokier beers. Again, that might have been some part of the rating as well. But this isn't an every person beer, I would say. This is one, again, for an acquired type taste. If you are into beers that kind of have a little bit of a smokier type feel, you may dig this one. I'm getting a nice little bit of a sensation in the mouth, kind of around the lip area and the cheek area. A little bit of an astringency. The more you kind of suck the cheeks, the more flavor you get out of it. So very decent in that regard. The only other thing I'll say on the back end, it's very small, very tiny. I can see where some people may think it has a little bit of a type of medicine type appeal. But I've had beers that I've had to stick out a lot more than what this one is. Overall, it's kind of a decent surprise, I would say. But it's definitely, I would say, more for an experienced beer drinker because not being one, I can definitely see where this would kind of throw some things off for you. He's got a nice smoothness to it. Actually, wouldn't be too bad to have with a savory type dish as well. But yeah, it's all right. I will finish that one with no problem. On the taste, I would also say the vanilla is a little bit lighter than I expected. I do get on the nose a little bit more, but I will say the lactose does add nice creaminess to the body. And if you just got here, you want to see the bottle. Here is the bottle again from Tool. It is the Vanilje Maelk, which is American vanilla milk from Norwegian, and just an interesting brew. Let's check some of the comments here. See what I may have missed. Alan, you playing a little COD? Well, Alan, I would jump over there for a little bit with you if you're going to still be playing here once I'm done with the video. Got some time before Westworld tonight. And cheers to Bourbon Bounty. Good to see you, my friend. Happy Sunday to you. Make sure you guys check out Bourbon Bounty as well. He's got a really good whiskey channel there as he's actually going through some different things and breaking them down very nicely, especially if you're just trying to find out about bourbon. He really has some nice detailed and descriptive videos there. Binary, right, correct. Too bad Vanessa's not here. Vanessa would love the label because of it being binary, so hopefully she is up there staying safe too. I know there's some concerns around some of the states, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, and what they're actually doing there on some of the protections they're taking. I guess in some of the states they might be actually now more enforcing border control, and that they are checking people coming in and out of the states, kind of where you're going. They're doing like checkpoints with swabs and fever checks and stuff. I think some places you have to actually have to have something to even go. So it might be like a where's your papers type thing or something out there. So it's getting kind of, crazy out there. But some of the projections that came out are expecting a lot more people to be affected. I heard earlier today they were saying that with them trying to flatten stuff out going further, that they're now looking out to like April 30th, and everybody was saying Trump, he said he was trying to push for Easter. He's actually backed off that to try to do something by the end of April. But there were some projections coming out that at one point was up to about 1.6 to 2 million people that may have died if they didn't catch that on in time. But they are expecting maybe a few 100,000 or something now. So it's kind of weird on the stuff they're doing, but they're taking definitely more measures. Some of the video was showing some of the police cars at different borders that were lined up, how they had checkpoints and all that stuff. So Erie says our state has backwards. They opened the damn beaches. Blake said for real, Erie. Yeah, that's definitely anti productive to what we're trying to do here. So I wonder if something will come in. They actually will look to close those down. I know in Florida they had some parts of some of their stuff was open, but I think DeSantis finally had to start shutting some stuff down because all the heat he was taking there. Yeah, that just makes no sense. Again, it's like the scene in Jaws where I think the guy was Larry, who was the mayor, and telling people to go into the ocean. Like, nothing to worry about. It's like they were worried about more about getting the money coming in play, and Jaws is out there eating people up. It wasn't until people started boycotting. Yeah, the big beaches, the Isle of Palms, Foley Beach, and stuff that are huge tourist. Yeah, they're trying to get those tourist dollars and putting people's lives in danger. They are ready. 20 isolated strings of the virus catalog. If the string mutates, pass from individual to individual, we could eventually end up with a deadly virus that kills on contact. Yeah, and that's the concern right now is that by the time we do get something down the line, this thing may have mutated so much that it's not going to be as strong of a vaccine that we actually need. So the best thing is, to stay home and follow the quarantine type measures, especially if you're in a situation where you're putting others at risk. It's one thing if people want to go out themselves and do some stuff like that, if they, take their own lives and, in that type of risk, but when you're coming back and you're bringing other people involved, you got other people to actually have to consider. Erie says our governor is a moron. Well, they're opening the beaches. Tends to look that way. Um, you know, the one kid from spring break was actually here from Cincinnati. Recently had to apologize, but he was a kid on the video talking about if I get coronavirus, I get coronavirus. And he apologized for it. Man, I'm thinking his parents got a hold of him when he got back. And basically, he didn't realize, he wasn't thinking about it, but he's like, he had an older, I think it was like a grandparent and stuff, that when they broke it down to him, he didn't realize he was putting their life in jeopardy as well. And it's just like, you're taking on risk when you're doing those other things like that. And Purpose says you're our current politician. Yep. It's a lot of stuff out there happening. It's kind of like, again, if we would have acted at day one like we could have, we'd be in a better spot by now. But everybody says it's looking back after the fact. But yeah, I mean, it's just you got the information in. You have to look how it acts. You're looking at all the stuff it's doing around the world, and then we sat on it. So, what's up, Dee Dee? Cheers, my friend. Happy Sunday to you. And Dee Dee says cheers to everyone as well. And let me go back here. And if you guys haven't checked out Blake TV, make sure you check out Blake TV as well. Fun time on his channel. He does the Friday Night Throwdown. He does the B&A show. Always a good stuff taking place there. And I guarantee, like the guy in the Men's Warehouse, I guarantee you will be entertained. So make sure you check him out as well. And then check out the Eclectic Beard and some of his channels. Eclectic Beard, kind of his main channel. He has Eclectic Beard Gaming and Eclectic Beard Reactions, where he does reaction videos and stuff. So make sure you definitely check him out. And he's Eclectic Beard Gaming, which is where we actually game Call of Duty when we get together on stuff. But he does other stuff on there as well. And always a good time. You said, I miss her thing, said, horrible people with no taste. No idea was the first button smashed. Yeah, I mean, some people are just, they do what they do. Sometimes you get a thumbs down before you even do anything, so it just happens, but you let the haters bother you, you won't get anything done, so they can hate on as much as they want. It's still engagement in the YouTube book. Let me see here. Bourbon said the U.S. is currently quickly losing its standing in the world. Yeah, we started falling back probably before this even on a lot of stuff. And you look at some of the world rankings on certain countries and different things. I mean, like, for instance, the infant mortality rate, I think we're like 38 or 39 in the world for the countries and stuff. I mean, there's a lot of cases of children that die on birth or whatever, that versus other countries for, we're supposed to be the leader in the world. We should have the top medical care, but you have that and other things that actually happen. Blake said our governor ain't no better. We had 2 less cases than yesterday, and our governor smiles and says it's been a successful day. Shake my head. Yeah. Yeah, there was another one too. Out in Erie, they aren't there, but down in Alabama, there was some stuff going on with that governor as well and stuff she was saying. It's just, it's kind of crazy out there, some of the things that are taking place. Dee Dee, is Sunday. I'm not working, so I don't know what day it is. Is this retirement? Well, a lot of people I know that went into retirement, they actually got bored. And they start doing other stuff. So I think when you're in retirement, you're working more then than you are now. Oh, thanks, Blake. By the way, great show. Friday home, we went back and watched and really enjoyed it, bro. Well, thank you, my friend. And it went longer than I was expecting. That's why I didn't make it over to your Friday Night Throwdown. So it was just like we started having a lot of people come in and we were talking and going through some things. But yeah, I'm going to try to do that earlier. And then it might be like an hour or something. Like I might do it like on Friday at 8. That way I can jump over to your show at some point. But yeah, that was the first time to kind of do that. Kind of had idea, and people were posting saying they wanted to see stuff like that. So yeah, so on Friday nights I will be doing the Fan Fridays, and then Thursdays we actually have the Beer Flow show, which reminds me, this Thursday, because it happens to be our anniversary that day, I probably will not have a Beer Flow show on Thursday night. I've got to get with the guys, but I might move it to either Tuesday or Wednesday, depending. to see if those guys might be able to do it that day or not, or we may skip the week and come back next week. So stay tuned for that, but we'll see how that actually works out. Alan says, the governor is an idiot when he sees authority to our Department of Health and the National Guard. Yeah. Dee says, hey, Blake. Bounty said, I got my first thumbs down on the video. I'm just crushed, but I have no fucks to give, so it's all even. There you go. That's how you look at it, Bourbon. That's how you look at it. Yeah, it's like people just give thumbs down. I think someone gave a thumbs down to even the Friday show or whatever. So, yeah, you can't let it ever bother you and stuff. Some people are just out there just doing it to do it. People always talking shit about Americans. I see why. We should have started prepping when it was happening in December in China. Yeah, I mean, we have intel, which there were some talks that this did come up in some of the intel meetings, or they tried to bring it up in intel meetings. But remember, Trump has less intel meetings than his predecessors have. He's not a big fan, or he wasn't a big fan of those meetings. So remember when he started switching up and he used to have to say they were just like memos and stuff. There was concerns of him around the intel and if they were going through everything thoroughly enough. So it's not like when it was W or Obama or Clinton or HW or even Reagan or whatever. The intel meetings they had were a lot longer, and I'm sure that would have been a point that would have been covered. But when you also fire your people that are kind of in China, and you cut back the CDC type stuff, and you do some different things there, you're going to be short on some information. When you disband that team, that doesn't help. Blake said, Bourbon, all good, bro. Hang in there. There will be much more. Just don't get discouraged. Yeah, definitely. Keep it definitely going. Like I said, thumbs up, thumbs down will pop up on everybody at some point. It's just all part of it. So even like the big guys who do like helpful videos on how to help you out with social media and give you tips and tricks, I see those guys get thumbed down. I'm like, why are you thumbing down people that are actually helping other people? It's just stupid. Although I do wish YouTube made a thing where you have to give a reason why you were doing a thumbs down, just so the people that create videos could get feedback. And they can do the same thing with thumbs up. What did you like about that video? Why'd you give it a thumbs up? If it was just like a one question thing, it'd be kind of nice. Blake, it's all good, ride. Get them watch hours, bro. Yeah, thanks. Definitely got to get the watch hours. So on the road to 4,000, on the road to 4K, I looked earlier today, like 3730 or something. So remember, it's a 12-month running period. So you're losing a day from the beginning of it. So if you had a real big day and you have an okay day, you could actually be behind the next day. So just remember, it runs concurrently for the whole 12 months. My dad got bored being retired. Yeah, that's what I've seen a few people get bored being retired. Some people actually don't even like when their spouse is retired because they're all around the house messing with shit. So they prefer them to go back to work. Speaking of retirement, big cheers to some of those doctors and nurses. If you're one or you know any of them out there that have come out of retirement to actually help with this whole coronavirus thing. They didn't have to do that, but they're coming back to the front lines to try to help. So big cheers to them as well for bringing back their expertise. Bourbon said, I used to grow a field of fucks, but I gave up when about 15 years ago. The field is now barren and there are none left to give. I like that. That's awesome, Bourbon. If golfing is working, I look forward to it. I don't know, Didi. You might be out there hustling on the golf course. So for you, you're hustling on the golf course. For you, that's working. You're just not in the pool hall. You're out there playing golf. I got 3 after I put on generic Charles Manson. LOL. You'll have to just see them. That's funny. I agreed that went golfing twice. Best score was a plus 34. I thought that was good. LOL. Was that for 18 or was that for 9? No, Blake. Dude, I'll play golf with you. Separate carts, and I am bad enough that I can guarantee we will never be within 6 feet of each other. Yeah, depending on your golf game, social distancing tends to work out, possibly, depending on how you hit your shots. Funny, though, last weekend, we actually had a couple of our golf courses that were actually open. There's still some that are open now, and they're kind of doing things to disinfect the carts and stuff like that. But I think everybody's taking their own cart. Like you can't ride together unless maybe you're like family or something like that. But it's interesting, and they put things on the flagpole to close the hole off. So you tap it up to hit the stick rather than going in a hole that we don't have to worry about reaching down and picking up anything. So just crazy the different things they're doing. It's almost like that golf is becoming like a frisbee type golf where you have to bang the frisbee against the flag stick. My dad stayed shopping until he got the tumors on his back, which stopped him from walking. They stayed going, yeah. And hopefully your dad is doing better and everything. I have a simulator, so I've been playing around the world. It's giving me great results while I close the office. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I've seen a few of those, some of the golf shots. And Blake said 9, homie. So he's plus 34 on 9. I can't do golf, but I got you some putt-putt. There you go. Yeah, well, with golf, it's kind of like the putting is the money part. So that's where you're bringing in the dollars. So if you can do putt-putt, you can do all right. Yeah, and Blake also said, hope your dad will be doing better soon, Erie. Bourbon asked Didi what simulator. And Ari said he started to be able to move himself. I'm sorry, move more himself since the first surgery. Second is postponed until the stuff is over. Well, that's some good things. He was able to move himself. That's one of the concerns of all the stuff happening right now. The people that need other medical procedures or medical type stuff that they're dealing with are being put on the back burner on things while this virus is taking place. There was a story on NBC News, I think, where there was a lady that was supposed to get an organ transplant, and she can't really get that done yet until they're getting all this other stuff settled. I forgot what city she was in, but they don't want to risk her coming in there, anything happening, infected. Plus, it takes away from some of his other stuff. So I think she's in a stage where they feel like they have more time to get it done, but there's people on pins and needles that need other stuff to happen that can't have it happen. And Didi said, OptiShot. Blake said, look out, Mr. Woods. He said, I'll scream whore for someone or for or whatever they scream. You scream whore on the golf course, some guys would be like, where? Oh, yeah. And Blake said, LOL, Erie. Yeah, on the golf course, it's definitely for, not whore, that you should scream. And Bounty asked Didi if it was pure shot. So Bounty's a golfer as well. I haven't golfed in about, I want to say two. No, actually, I take that back. I did go to a golf outing last year for a company. We actually ended up winning like a closest to the putt team challenge type thing. But outside of going to myself, I haven't gone to play golf probably about 2.5 years. Which I would like to play it more. It's just finding the time to be able to play it. I've had friends that golf on golf teams and stuff like that, and I've been told I have pretty much, the right swing down, all that kind of stuff is just muscle training and doing it more. They're like, if you do it more, a lot of my friends told me they thought I could be down to like a scratch golfer. So I just don't play it enough. Anyway, most of them will think their mistresses found them. Oh, is it worse to be found by the mistress or worse to be found by the wife? Cruising down the street in my 6'4". Oh, that's funny, Blake. He said, LOL. Yes, a very determined golfer. That sucks. But you're out of the house having fun, so that's all that matters. I always like when my company says we do a golf thing, too. It's like, on a company dime, go out and golf and you're not working, that's just a win all the way around. Oh, Erie said, LOL, Blake, so you've seen Alan then. That is funny. Yeah, but that being said, I think I'm going to actually jump off a little bit, maybe go and play a little bit of a Call of Duty here, catch up with Alan if he's still playing. But yeah, but thanks for tuning in tonight. A little bit of a short one. Do got to also get ready to watch Westworld or so in a half hour. I don't know if you guys are into that, but that almost takes like a notebook just to keep up on all the different storylines that are taking place. But I'm looking forward to checking that out tonight. I kind of put Walking Dead on the back burner for me, and trying to get into some other shows that I can get into. A lot of people keep telling me to watch Ozark. I haven't watched Ozark yet, but a lot of people are telling me how good it is. My wife's about to start watching that series, I think. Alter Carbon. Just trying to find time to get this other stuff in. But, find something to do during this time. If you're quarantined, like I said, it's also a good time. Maybe you'll learn a new skill or you'll get some stuff done around the house you need to get done. Damn it, Erie, don't you even bring that up. I talked to Alan about that earlier today. Erie said, I don't know. It's like it looks like a train wreck. It just looks like a train wreck. I don't know if I'll watch that or not. I don't know. I never say never, but I just don't know if I'm ready for that. Oh, Bounty said later, man. Always a good time. Definitely, and glad you got a chance to swing by. Again, make sure you guys check out Bourbon Bounty. He's kind of just rolling on his stuff there on his channel. Great stuff to happen. I'm sure he's got some great stuff coming. So tune in to Blake, tune in to everybody here that's got a channel. Everybody's got always a great crew. Always love having you guys come in. Erie said she finished it today on the Tiger King. Definitely a train wreck, and it's crazy they're all nuts. Yeah, that's what I kind of get the feeling in that case. And Dee Dee said Optishot, check it out as well for the golf simulator. But thanks, everyone. I will look forward to catching you guys next time. I'm going to actually be doing some recording of some of the beer reviews, so there are going to be some shorter videos upcoming that I'll put up there as well. It's just tough to do these lives like every day or so, which I like doing the lives every day, but I'll definitely get them in when I can. But just in case I don't, I'm going to start making a log of some of the other videos so I can just upload them for you guys there. Beer said, okay, it's official hideout map success. So I guess Alan got worked over on the hideout map here. So that being said, and of course Erie's right there to hit him right below the belt, or you do, Alan. Look forward to catching you guys soon. Keep drinking those good craft beers. Remember, there's always time. Get your beer on. Have a great Sunday night, and I will see you on the next video. Cheers, everyone.